O'Neill and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man, Jerome.
What's up, Daryl O'Neill? The man.
Hey,
Every
man.
hour, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Mr. O'Neill.
Man, I appreciate it, man. You know, but I just do what I do, man.
Hey.
You know, but
Yes.
anyway, look, we hadn't said shout outs. We live today. So if you live, you got Facebook Live, Roku, Fire Stick, Amazon, the SVP TV network app. You can call in live and we'll answer any question you have, regardless of what topic that we're talking about.
Wow.
And in fact, we do have a question that somebody posed to it, and it's a pretty doozy. It's a
Yes.
doozer, you know.
About a 3-part or a 4-part.
Man, it's like a bad song.
Right,
Man.
I got you.
You're trying to figure out all the harmony parts,
I got you.
So we need to say our shout outs.
Sure.
Man. Shout outs to California. Shout outs to West Memphis. I'm sorry. Shout out to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Right.
We got people in Arkansas, Little Rock. Shout out to West Memphis, Arkansas. Shout out to Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee. Shout out to Mississippi. Shout out to the great state of Missouri. Shout out to my wife, my family, my kids, my mom. Shout out to Jerome.
Wife, family, kids, and mom.
Grandkids. So, anyway, thank you again for watching the show.
Sure.
We really want to finish up what we were talking about, which was probate.
That's right.
And we hadn't finished that. But we got a question in that is it's a probate property absolute nightmare.
And somewhat domestic type stuff too, yeah, because anytime you're talking about close-knit units, we consider it as domestic-like things,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, John, let me tell you about the facts.
Okay.
And then, let's play with them a little
Let me
bit.
put my thinking cap on.
There you go. So here are the facts.
All right.
You got a husband and wife,
Okay.
and you have a number of children.
All right.
Okay. The husband dies. Husband.
Wait a minute. Are the children of the husband and wife?
It don't even matter.
It wouldn't matter?
It don't even matter.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And the reason why it didn't matter.
Okay.
So now we're talking about real property.
Okay.
Now, what most people don't know in Tennessee, if a husband or a wife buys a piece of property as husband and wife, automatically when one of them dies, the property transfers to the other one.
Because that's called tenants by the entirety.
Correct.
Which means the longest living spouse will become the owner of the
Hey,
property.
if you take care of yourself, you're going to own that property,
Right.
So that's the law in Tennessee.
That's right.
Now, here's where, most people really think it changes, and they're wrong. If I'm married and I buy a piece of property while I'm married, but I don't put my spouse's name on that property, that it's not the same effect. It is absolutely the same effect.
Good.
Most people don't realize just because your name is not on a house, if that house was bought when you were married, it's marital property. And when one spouse or the other spouse dies, it will automatically transfer to the other.
And Darren, you're absolutely correct. That's why if you were to go to the Register of Deeds and look at how that property is titled, many times it would say an unmarried person.
Right.
Or it would say a married person, which falls right into what we're talking about.
And that's what it'll say. It'll say Jerome Payne,
Right.
a married person.
That's right.
Or Susie Johnson,
Yes.
a married person.
Right.
So even though the spouse's name is not on there,
That's right.
it still will say a married person.
Absolutely.
And if you could prove that you're the person that's married to that person, then the property will transfer over automatically.
Right.
So, and in this particular scenario, the spouse died, the wife died. So the property became owners of the husband. So the husband, he got these children. So the husband decides, hey, I'm going to let one child stay in this house, as long as that one child pays the rent or pays the mortgage. As long as they pay the mortgage, they can stay here.
Right.
Then, after a period of time, the father says, you know what? I'm going to deed the property to all of the other children.
Let's stop for just a moment, Daryl. So when the mother died, leaving the property to the husband, he didn't make any transfers at that point?
No transfers.
Okay, all right,
no
go
transfers.
ahead. All right, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, no transfers at that time.
Okay, gotcha.
However, he let one of the daughters
Let them stay
in the house.
Look, now, was it 7 years?
No.
You know, because 7 years, what?
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
No, but in these cases, it would never be.
Okay.
See, what happens is, if I let you stay in the house and you're paying the mortgage, but it's already known that I'm letting you stay there.
Okay.
You cannot have
I
adverse
got you.
possession
That's right.
if I let you stay
That's
there.
right. I got you. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
You have to, anyway.
Open, honest, ornery, just ornery. I'm just sitting here, and nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it.
I got you. Okay.
So in that particular, she let the daughter stay there.
Okay.
He told the daughter, look, all I need you to do is take care of the mortgage, pay the mortgage. Daughter, does that, stays there for whatever period of time. I guess the father at some point decided he was getting older in age and decided, I needed to take care of these affairs before something drastically happens.
Okay.
So he decides that I'm going to quit claim deed the property to all of the children at once.
With equal shares.
Equal shares.
Gotcha.
Then, once he does that, now the house is no longer owned by him. It's owned by the 3, 4, 5, however many children.
That's
it's owned
right.
by the children.
Right.
But the one daughter is
Who's been doing everything,
who's been
paying
doing-
the mortgage, and taking care of everything.
It's still living
It's
there.
still living there.
Okay. Now, she was paying the mortgage and taking care of everything before she was an owner.
Right.
Because that was a
Right.
requirement. Instead of paying rent, that was
Gotcha.
a requirement.
Gotcha.
I know where you were going there. So,
Right.
so then the father, quit claim deeds to property to all of the children.
Right.
But the one daughter is still staying there. Now, the one daughter says, hey, since y'all are owners too, I need y'all to fix the property up. They were like, nah, that ain't happening. You either fix it up. I tell you what, forget that. We just want to sell the property. We want you out, and we want to sell the property. That's our fact pattern.
Oh my God, a nightmare.
That is an absolute nightmare. So let's walk through it, Jerome.
Okay, cool.
Let's go through the first step.
Right.
The first step is, does the daughter that's living in the property, does she have the right to any recovery of her expenses that she paid prior to the father transferring it to all of the children?
Well, that's a very interesting scenario. I think that she, in her mind, would think that she had more. She had more rights than any other.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But in fact, she would not, because she simply was paying rent.
She's a tenant.
Until she became an owner. And once she became an owner, all of them received their interest at the same time.
Right.
So they're all at the same level.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that.
Right.
Because that's my thought process.
Right.
And I know I must be on the right track because we agreed
We
on
agree.
it. We agreed on it. So the daughter that was living there prior gets no interest. She doesn't have any additional fees, monies, or interest or responsibility. She doesn't get anything extra for that period of time that she had prior to the property be transferred to everybody.
Right.
Now the property been transferred to everybody.
Let's just stop for a minute. Let's just dig a little bit deeper in there. Are you sure she didn't do any repairs? She didn't do upgrade the unit from a window unit to a central air or some other stuff?
I think even if she did, I don't think those facts changes. Because it's pre-transfer. All her pre-transfer conduct doesn't transfer with her. Because the pre-transfer conduct was an agreement that she had with the landlord or the owner prior to the owner selling or giving or transferring. So that is, for instance, Jerome, I own this building, right? And I decide I'm going to rent a space to you. Okay.
Well, I think commercial is different because commercial can require.
Okay, let's change this.
Right, and that's true. Commercial can require that you
and you
repair everything.
Well, and I'm glad you said that.
Right.
A regular rental property, you can do that.
You can do it too.
Absolutely.
Okay. I got you.
So, but let's say I like that.
Okay.
So this is a house. I'm the owner.
Right.
I decide I'm gonna rent to Jerome.
Right.
So now in my lease agreement, I say in my lease agreement that you're gonna be responsible for any and every piece of maintenance on this house. So if the roof dies, tears down, falls down, that's your responsibility. If the air conditioner goes bad, that's your responsibility. I've assigned it to you. Now, if you want to stay here, you sign that agreement.
Okay.
If you don't, leave.
I got you. Okay.
Okay, so you assume those responsibilities.
I got you.
So what the daughter did prior to the transfer ownership to her is she was a tenant.
Okay.
And she had responsibilities that she's agreed upon as a tenant.
Okay.
Now, once she is no longer a tenant and she's an owner, now anything that she does on the property as an owner, she can get set off on. Would you agree with that?
Well, yes, the answer is but I'm still struggling.
With the previous part.
I'm struggling with the previous part. I'm just struggling with that
Well, let me just
right now because I just don't see, and I see there being a chancery court issue should this go down that way, because it's no way that this person has kept the property up, has enhanced it. It's no longer without central air. It had window units. You follow what I'm saying? Or now it has a electric hot water tank.
Yeah, a heat pump and
You see
all
what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, that this person has diligently brought the property up to a certain standard.
Yeah.
So now it's more valuable than it was before the transfer occurred.
I don't disagree with any of that.
So any enhancement, she ought to be getting reimbursed somewhat.
and I absolutely disagree.
Okay.
And here's the reason why.
Okay.
If I buy this piece of property from you, okay, because let's talk about this.
Okay.
If you were a tenant in this piece of property, right?
I don't think that I don't think it works the same way.
Well, that's
as
what
a
she
tenant.
was.
Yeah.
She was a tenant.
Yeah.
She, prior to him transferring ownership, because our argument at that point is he decided to sell to her and the other children. Now, he did it by a quick claim deed.
Right.
He did it however he wanted, but he decided to transfer the property. We have to take that transfer as a sale of some sort.
Right. I got you. I got you.
And so, because it's at a sale of some sort, you don't get the benefit of what your conduct after you sold. After, yeah,
I got you.
yeah. I mean, and that's what that. Now, look, if I'm the person that was renting and now I'm an owner, I do believe I'm entitled to that. My mind can't get past that. My mind can't get past the fact that I paid the mortgage. The reason why the mortgage is zero now.
That's exactly right.
I fixed the property up. The reason why
I put a white picket fence around it. Yeah.
You know, that's the thought process.
And look, and I widened the drive out, so now you have two cars parked in the driveway. But you're probably right on the face of the issue. Mm-hmm. But it just depends on how fairly I'm being treated. Let's move to the next portion of it.
Yeah, but and again,
when everybody becomes owner.
Now, when everybody becomes owner,
let's go to there.
Okay, so now when everybody becomes owner,
okay,
and here's the disgusting shit about ownership.
Okay,
when everybody becomes owner, the law says something like this: the taxes, the insurance, the upkeep of the property can be done by one person or all of them.
All of them, right.
Or it could be done by none of them at all. And the property could be lost on a tax sale.
Right.
Now, the law also says if you do things to enhance the property and the other people don't contribute it, there's an argument that you could get your money back.
Pro rata.
Pro rata.
Pro rata,
those
okay.
things.
Okay.
That's things that happen after the transfer.
Right.
After
Okay.
the transfer. So I think that there's an argument that you could get your stuff back.
Right.
Now, can I get that person that's in that house out of there?
I don't think so. I think you'd have to, the person who's been living there for 10 years,
right.
now,
It's now became an owner.
and now,
But I'm an owner also too.
So now the other owners now want the person who's been living there for 10 years out,
Right.
because they want to sell to do something different.
Right.
I think it's a 50-50.
I think it's a 100%.
Okay.
And let me tell you the reason why I think it's 100%.
That they can just up and have her move.
Now, I didn't say up and have her move, but they can require the house to be sold. So the partition sale stands for the proposition that I have an ownership right in this piece of property.
Right.
I shouldn't have to wait till somebody dies to recoup my ownership
In
right.
fact, just one of them could force a partition sale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a partition sale means that I have an entitlement and I should be able to get my interest and use my interest right now. And you shouldn't be able to hold me hostage.
But I should have first rights.
Anybody can have a first right, as long as you pay the money.
I mean, whatever. So then we would have a fair market value,
Maybe.
and then determine what 1/4. That's what your fourth is.
Right.
And if I buy you out, you can't refuse it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
But it's not fair market.
Okay.
It's fair market if the chancellor wants it to be fair
Okay.
market. It's not fair market if the chancellor decides to sell
On the courthouse steps, yeah, right.
It's the fastest way to get rid of it.
Right.
Because because they have that right to do that.
Okay.
But normally they don't. Normally they try to get bids in there and they work out a deal.
And in fact, the chancellor may or may not approve it if it's not fair market
Correct,
value.
correct.
And if
Yeah.
it's not more than one bid, and then the highest bid would more than likely be what the chancellor would order.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Most of the chancellors that we have now will do that.
Okay.
But they're not bound and they're not required to do that. They could actually order it to be sold on the court step.
I think it depends on how contentious the litigants are. If it looks like it's just a big mess, and the chancellor wants it off of his docket, he may order it to be sold on the courthouse steps.
Yeah,
It just depends on if it looks like this is a reasonable family and nobody is really pressing to have something done. Maybe you can list it and try to get some offers like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't see.
But it's not required.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming.
Our chancellors that we have in this court here in Shelby County, I don't know about any other county.
Right.
Our chancellors that we have here in Shelby County would probably, regardless of how contentious it is, they would probably allow this thing to be sold at the fair market value.
I think you're absolutely right.
And they would not be pressed because it's sitting on their docket for a long period of time.
I think
they
you're
would,
absolutely right.
Because you got to remember, Chancery Court is a court of equity.
That's right.
And if you file something in Chancery Court, you do have some law here, but at the same token, what I have is I have what's right.
What's right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
And what's right is the fair market value.
Now, I'm glad you said that, because now that takes me back to pre-ownership.
Yeah, yeah.
They may even look into that situation as well, particularly if now the property's value has been enhanced by the actions of the person who lived there.
And most of those chancellors won't do it.
They won't look back.
Well, they may look back,
Yeah.
but they're not going to feel it.
Oh.
I mean, here's the reason why. Here's the reason. See, I look at it, I really truly believe myself to be a reasonable person.
Okay.
Even though you don't think I am.
Well, sometimes you're not. But it depends on the circumstance.
I really think that when I'm really analyzing things,
Okay.
I analyze things from a common sense perspective.
I got you.
And that's kind of how I see the chancellors looking at things from a common sense perspective. And here's the thing. You cannot live anywhere for free.
Oh, for sure.
And if this person's lived there, she didn't have to enter into the agreement with her stepfather or her father. She didn't have to enter. He gave her an option. You can stay here, but you got to pay the mortgage.
Well, also too, Daryl, it wasn't necessarily a situation like you describe it, and I see this situation as being more of having a emotional contact with the house. This is where I grew up at. My mom and dad live here. I don't want to see anything happen to it. So I make enough money to live anywhere in the city if I want to live. But I chose to live here because I want to preserve this property because of my emotional relationship with it.
Yeah, that all sounds good.
I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah, but here's that.
Because there is now an effort all around the country to try to save these properties for legacy reasons.
Yeah, but,
that black people are losing their property.
There ain't nobody losing their property.
And going.
Daddy could have sold the property.
Well, he could have.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gave her an option.
But in America, a property owner.
She's not a property owner. She's not a property owner. She's not a property owner.
Okay.
And in fact, what she could have done, if we gonna take what
She should have bought
it from him.
She should have purchased
exactly.
it. I agree.
If she was thinking the way you would think.
Well, first of all, there always are many different ways to address a situation. You're right. Some of them are best, a little less, or worse. Okay, so it turns out now that the worst thing that she did was to stay there so long without pressing the issue.
Yeah.
Dad,
yeah.
why haven't you gone on and done something with this property? Because I am still investing. I had the new floors put in. I put a jacuzzi in. I've done some other things. So why haven't you gone on and done something with this property? Otherwise, then I could go out and probably get a loan and just buy it myself. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's what happens to our people. They don't have the knowledge and information that they need in order to make a wise decision.
Look, Jerome, if the stepfather or the father wanted her to live
Don't say stepfather now, because the stepfather is a whole different ballgame.
Well, that's what it was, the stepfather.
Well, how's the stepfather get a chance to tell them what to do with the property that their mother left?
He was married to her.
What? Remember from the very beginning, there.
No, he was married.
But listen, Daryl, I asked you from the very beginning, were the children of the mother and father, and you said it didn't matter.
It does not matter.
If he's the stepfather,
it does not matter. If I'm married to my wife, and she has some other kids, or I have some other kids, and she dies or I die. Okay, again, if we bought that property as a marital company, the property transfers to me, period. Those kids have no say. The property transferred to the stepdad 100%. He could choose, he didn't have to give them nothing. He didn't have to give them a thing. But out of goodness of his heart, he says, hey, daughter, now I'm going to talk for him.
Those are not his children.
Those are not his kids. Hey, stepdaughter. Your
Hey,
stepdaughter, your mom thought you was pretty trifling, and you weren't gonna never be able to make anything. So let me give you a place to stay. I'm just messing around now.
But look, it did make a difference to me, because
not in the law though.
Well, but I'm just saying with the facts as I have them now, you're absolutely right. He was just doing it out of the goodness of his heart. Yeah. But I thought there was an emotional bond there that these are all of our children together.
No.
That's why it was important to me to know the difference. You're right. You see what I'm saying?
But I get you why you needed to know, because you wanted to figure out an argument, a factual argument.
That's right.
But in my mind,
but if he has no connection to the children, he was just doing it probably because of his still love for his deceased wife, that he wanted to see the children taken care of. That's a different ball game than if it's our children together.
Yeah, but
you follow what I'm saying?
I do, but I still
don't think it makes a difference.
It would not make a difference.
Okay.
I mean, because your personal attachment is your problem.
Well,
that's just not my problem.
Well, you said it all the time, there. but I am a lawyer who argues from all perspectives. I often put myself in the situation, and I often remember, remember all those books and stuff that we have in our libraries. When we hear a set of facts, what we do is we reach in our memory banks and put those facts into something that we've read in the books that already ever happened. You follow what I'm saying? So by the same token, to me, it makes a difference if there is a familiar relationship, that how the dad is treating these children who turn out not to be there, and I understand.
Yeah,
he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, but think about it from this perspective.
Okay,
him being a nice guy, right? Again, there's no requirement.
No, absolutely not.
And between me and you, with all due respect, even if he was the actual dad, there's no requirement. There's just not. I mean, it may be nice, but there's no requirement. It's just not. I mean, hey man, anyway, I'm gonna just stop there.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm good.
There's no requirement.
Don't go any further.
Yeah, I'm getting ready
because you're gonna say something.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something flippant.
Don't say it. Okay.
But there's no requirement.
I got you. I'm with you now.
But then hold on. But then could the stepdaughter who's been living there paying the mortgage and maybe did something or not do something, could she ask the stepfather and the siblings to reimburse her for the mortgage that she paid, or reimburse her to fix up anything that she paid for?
Well, I don't think she can ask for the mortgage, but I think that she's probably entitled to something for any enhancements, because that would be the same, like just like you say, if I'm leasing a place,
Right.
but I'm not required in a lease to put hardwood floors in. I'm not required to.
No, you got to get permission to do that.
But that's what I'm saying. But she has done this. The property has been enhanced tremendously.
Who told her to do it? Who asked her to do it? Who authorized her to do it? Because see, that's the problem that you always have.
Okay, I got you.
You cannot just make unilateral decisions, because I may not want that to be done. You didn't ask me. It's not yours to ask for. And here's the reason why the stepfather probably did not transfer it to all of them until a certain period.
Until he got older and was about to pass off the scene. Maybe,
I think not only that the older was an issue, I think at a period of time, at some point, the mortgage became paid. And here's the reason why I say that, because the law says that, or not the law, most deeds.
Well, you can't transfer.
Most deeds have a
clause in there saying that if you transfer,
it's accelerated.
But there, that's a whole different ballgame though now too. That she paid the property off.
She lived there.
Okay.
Jerome, do you think? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Jerome.
I'm good.
Do you think when somebody's living in a piece of property that you own, that you have a mortgage on, that they're not paying your mortgage?
Of course they are.
Duh. So and it's a possibility if they stay there 10 years,
but
they will have paid your mortgage.
But do they pay it off though?
It wouldn't really matter.
Okay, I got you.
Because the proceeds that they have, they're paying. Okay, in this case, the stepfather said maybe the house would have been entitled to get, maybe the house had a value of, a rental value of $1,000 a month.
Okay.
But the mortgage was $600 a month. So she benefited $400 a month simply by staying there.
I got you. Okay.
I mean, it's a house.
Well, remember, Darryl, everything that we do in the law is fact specific. Because the very same, just like the way you just argued on for that particular situation, almost the very same facts could be flipped the other way, and you'll be with me.
Yeah,
because every time we add another thing to it, the outcome could possibly change too at the same time.
Yeah, see, I don't see if she, and here's where I would have a problem, and this is the reason why if you argued it, it would be a problem. If she would have asked the father, the stepfather, and the siblings to reimburse her for the monies that she paid for the mortgage and anything that she's done, she would be unjustly enriched. And here's the reason why she would be unjustly enriched. She got to stay there. You can't stay anywhere for free.
I just don't see it that way.
Yeah.
I just do not
so what would she
see it that way. I just do not see it that way.
So she can stay in this house?
No, she has to pay what's required, $600 a month. Okay, you said. But she enhanced the place there.
Every day she's staying in there, she's deteriorating the place. You can't enhance something and not fix. Every time you walk on my floor, you deteriorate my hardwood flours.
I can see.
Every time you wash dishes in my zinc.
Attorney O'Neill, I can see that we are not going to agree.
Hold on a second.
Let's just agree to disagree.
Hold on a second.
And let's move to another fact pattern.
Every time you open the door in my door to go in and out, you're wearing and tearing my door.
I just don't see it.
Every time you take a piece of pincher and you tack it on the wall and put a nail in the wall, you're deteriorating my property.
But that's the beauty of the law.
Yeah.
We talked about it early on.
Hey, I would take these 4 kids. I would take these other kids.
You take the 3.
I'll take those 3 kids.
I got the 1.
I would
Because
take them.
This
in a
is
heartbeat.
this is
and
a,
I would win. I don't care who on the other side of that case. I feel good about that.
This is a diligent individual who worked tirelessly to
No.
get this.
No.
That's my argument to the chancellor.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
me telling the chancellor.
And I'm gonna say what?
This place. Here's some before pictures, chancellor.
I guarantee she ain't got none.
That's what I'm just saying.
And I guarantee the 4 pictures look a whole lot better than the after pictures.
But listen, there are pictures because they grew up in that house, did they?
I don't know that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it may not be, and in fact, we couldn't present it anyway if we just prepared it for a court. You know, I wouldn't be able to do that. But I said, Your Honor, back in 1964, whatever, 1993, this is what this house looked like. Today, look at what it looks like. And it's all because I took money out of my 401k, I put floors in, I put ceiling fans in, I did this and I did that. And now these people are coming along and they're going to enjoy it, and I don't get a chance to get anything back.
And here's what I'm going to say, Your Honor. Your Honor, here's the problem with that argument. And that argument has a number of problems. The first problem is who asked her to do it? That's number one. Who authorized her to do it? Who told her she could do it? And on top of that, Your Honor, regardless, if the property gets sold, all the enhancements would enhance the price, and we would all benefit from the sale of the property.
All off of my labor and my
we
money.
all, we
okay.
all gonna benefit.
Okay.
Because she wasn't the owner before then.
But remember.
Yeah.
Remember.
And she could have stood not to even ever be an owner.
It's okay. It's okay because that's the reason why we have the people in the robes.
Oh yeah.
Those people in the robes. Well, she didn't do anything. Then there's no reason to have the argument of enhancement. She just lived there, and she got the benefit of living there.
Right. And
in fact, she might owe them because she got a chance to live in the house. You know? It just depends. It just depends on the facts.
That's the reason why.
Yeah.
That's the reason why the partition sale works itself.
Exactly.
Because every day she stays in the house,
I agree.
After it's been sold to them,
if she
she owes them.
If she just treated it like a tenant, come in, leave out, go to work, come out, and never did anything to enhance it, in fact, deteriorated by normal wear and tear over a period of time, then that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a person who actually treated it as their home.
Yeah.
Then, to me, I think a different outcome might be possible.
Right.
But that reminds me too. I did a seminar recently at the Golden Presbyterian Church. Well, I told you I was on there with Mr. Jones, with the probate court clerk. Remember?
Oh yeah.
We were there.
Eddie Jones.
We were there. Eddie Jones and I. And so some of these questions came up when we were there. But the one that I remember, and I took it from you, that a young lady came up to me and asked me, how would I go about putting my husband's name on my house? I had, He's been bugging me about putting my name on the house because he doesn't feel comfortable. He keeps saying that every time I'm here, you always saying this is my house.
It is. It is. And he wanted his name on there. He need to.
And I turned to Daryl O'Neal for a minute. I said, you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say about this. My answer to you is don't do it. Do not do it. The better thing to do is let him buy. If he buys in,
he can buy in.
If he buys in,
he can buy in.
Or the better thing to maybe to sell it and you all purchase a house together.
There you go.
Because
and then you put your 50% in, I put my 50% in.
That's exactly right.
And my other money I get to sit in my account.
That's right.
But to put 100% of your money in, and nobody brings anything to and then they get ownership.
Well, I had to laugh at myself because that was a Daryl O'Neal answer.
All right, y'all. Well, we talked about, we spent a lot of time on that question.
Yeah.
And, that question was presented to me, last week or something.
Okay.
And it was so intriguing to me that I said, man, I got to answer this question on the air.
It was a good one.
Because it's one of those things that it has a lot of landmines, and it'll really educate a whole lot of people.
I think so.
You know. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the show. We'll see you back next time.
I think it was.